Call this meeting to order. Determine that there is a quorum present. Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself, we have a quorum. Commissioner Martin, Wardlaw, if you'll please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to go through about 9 items real quick, and then we'll go straight to the other item. Number 4, approving and amending minutes for previous meetings.
Move. Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. I have no citizens' comments. Subdivision plats.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. I'm taking this subdivision on Wagon Wheel and Tempe Creek back because it's already approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission from the city. They just made minimal changes on the wording, and they already approved.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Certificates of compliance. None. Monthly reports from elected officials.
Move. Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Approving the bills.
We'll make a motion to approve, and can we add the pay for the election workers? Do we have the company?
We don't have the documentation for that.
She said she could wait for 2 weeks. She was scared that,
I have the documentation, it hasn't gone to anyone, because the party chairs, one of them just signed off on it yesterday.
I'll make
The other
them,
ones decided.
I'll amend my motion that once the auditor receives the documentation, to pay the bill.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? 4, I'm going to go and vote no. I vote no. Sorry about that.
Now, which one?
Approving the bills. When you added that. Item 14, and let's go back to item 9 real quick. Someone brought up a good point a little while ago. We will continue to function as a court, and what I mean by that is that the bills will be paid, employees will get paid, and we will continue to function. So, Ms. Summer, thank you for letting me know that
Yes, sir.
there was a concern about that. We're going to go to item 14, discuss matters relating to the coronavirus, the COVID-19. We will not be going into executive session to discuss this item. I think it's important that individuals, our constituents, know that they're going to know everything we know, and we try to be as transparent as possible. Last night there was a scare. Our media, Channel 4 and Channel 12, put out that we had a confirmed case in Del Rio in the Western District, is the way they said it. The Western District, my understanding, consists, I think, of 7 counties. That's what they reported last night in their retraction. We do not have a confirmed case in Del Rio or Valverde County. Last night, there was more information given that the hospital has actually done 12 tests so far. 2 of them have come back negative. We're waiting on results on the other 10. We had an individual that had traveled here from out of the country, and we were concerned about that, and we were waiting on test results as of Saturday. Yesterday, I believe, Sheriff, was it yesterday or the day before that the test came back negative?
Yes, sir.
So that individual's, his test results did come back negative. So everything, all the test results that we received so far have come back negative. And not to panic anybody, but reality is fixing to set in. Are we going to have one here at some point? Yes. I mean, it's coming. But we need to figure out a way to get along. And, these individuals that traveled abroad and have traveled to California and to New York, to hot spots, at the end of the day, we'd like for them to quarantine, but we need to remember that they are still part of us. They're still part of our community. So we need to do everything we can to support them, and hopefully they will quarantine, self-quarantine them and their families. But, at the end of the day, us beating them up every chance we get, that's not gonna help. I think a bunch of them have already gotten the message, but, I will tell you that this is a team effort. The city, the school, the hospital, the base, the county, we're all involved. We've had board calls, we've had port of entry, we just had a host of individuals at these meetings. So it's something that we're taking serious. We did set an order in place for 7 days, which will be up Monday morning. 50 people maximum. I've been visiting with the commissioners, and we will have to, in my opinion, and it's up to the court, but my opinion, we will have to go to stricter restrictions as soon as one person is confirmed. Those restrictions, I believe, will include closing restaurants, bars, gyms, and then we will have to sort of pick businesses on how we're going to manage HEB, Walmart, and facilities like that, banks. I was just driving through, when I coming in this morning, and we've got AT&T, we've just got a host of other businesses. I mean, we need to make sure that when we put the rules out or put the restrictions out, that we think of these businesses and we will probably close businesses down, and then restrict probably to 10 or less in other areas. The takeout and the drive-through, it's probably going to be the way for the restaurants to go. But it'll be up to the court. So that's, I will tell you that last night was a little bit scary. And I guess it was sort of a test or something of how we're going to react, which last night was I think we failed. So, y'all will get all the information that we have, y'all will get. I mean, it's going to be put out. Last night, visiting the commissioner, and I, Commissioner Rowland, and visited with the commissioners also. It was amazing the amount of communication that we had last night. That was impressive. Commissioners, do you have anything to say?
Judge, I want to say that I think you've done a phenomenal job, and I think all the agencies have done a phenomenal job with this, staying on top of it and putting the things in place. I agree at some point we're going to have to probably move to tougher restrictions, and I know nobody wants to hear it. That includes us here at the county and everywhere else when we start looking at the volume of people that we deal with on a daily basis and how we're going to deal with those. I think we probably will at some point have to deal with a case in Del Rio. I think every community inevitably will have to deal with this issue. But this community has come together and done a phenomenal job of making sure that they follow the rules and do what they have to do to protect themselves, and that's very commendable. I know out of the White House they're constantly changing the guidelines that we're going to be looking at, and as time goes, and we'll do what we have to do. But I want everybody to know that this court, the city, the school district, the Air Force Base, everybody is doing everything that they can and making it as transparent as possible. I know there's lots of rumors out there, but they are just rumors. Base your information on facts. Find the facts before you go out and start talking, because there's a lot of stuff going on. I read a lot of stuff on Facebook that is just not true. And let's make sure we get the information correct before we start spreading all of the other stuff. Thank you, Judge.
One of the things that I would recommend, and again, it's going to be up to the court. We signed an order. It'll be up on the 10th. I think the bare minimum, we should go ahead and extend it. It'll be up on Monday, in the morning. I think we should go ahead and extend it at least to April 10th, and then if y'all would give me the authority at the point that we get a confirmed case to do whatever is necessary to protect the public.
You need that in the form of a motion, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second, Commissioner Vasquez. Is there any more discussion on this? None? All in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Thank y'all. We're gonna go ahead and stick with the same one, now that we've done that, with the same agenda item. Our departments, we have a couple of departments here. Roy, have you come up with a plan on how to handle this, just so the public will know? What are our steps that we're gonna be taking?
Throughout the state, the tax offices have been taking some action on eliminating what you would call the in-person transactions, having people actually coming in. This is a rough draft of what we would like to do with the court permission. If you want to share this, as many as I got. To reduce the in-person transactions, in light of the state of Texas having provided deadline extensions to motor vehicle transactions, we would like to provide a alternative to, and continue doing business, of course. There's other means of getting your registrations and paying your taxes. We would provide a drive-up drop slot service for new vehicle registrations, applications for disabled placards, and purchasing of temporary permits, drop-offs for voter registrations and applications, and also to pay for taxes. There's an online service, and we provide the website, which is texas.gov. You can renew registrations and get your stickers in the mail. Receive proof of your registration. When you do it online, they give you 31 days on top of the 60 days.
You need approval from us to do this, or?
I'd like to get the,
We'll make a motion to approve the changes in the tax office and vehicle registration as presented to the court.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. Any other discussion? 5-0 vote. Thank you, sir.
just to note, the CAD has also gone to a in-person transaction, I guess, waiving of that, so they'll be mirroring what we're doing here.
Okay. JP's, Judge Foss, I mean, is there gonna be a change in y'all's office? How are y'all gonna handle, y'all's transactions? I know that, there was a letter sent out about the courts.
Yes, Judge, as far as, good morning, first and foremost, Judge and Commissioners. As you know, we have our staff out this week. They have little ones at home, but I forward all of the calls as per your request to my Chief Deputy Clerk, so she's answering on our calls. And we're advising people if they need to make any payments, for them to please mail them in at this time to avoid any type of personal contact. Even though we have a window where they can talk through, they're not personally. I feel safer if they just go ahead and mail in their payments. So we got somebody answering phones at all times.
Do you have a system in place for those people that don't mail them in, where they're not being charged penalties or arrested or whatever the case may be?
We haven't yet, Commissioner, but we will work on that. As a matter of fact, now that I'm here about this, I'll make sure the JPs and I get together and see what we can come up with, be feasible for everybody to have one set of rules so everybody can be on board with them.
Did we work out the issue at the jail and registration? I know that there were some concerns at our last meeting about registrating at the jail.
Yes.
Starting back up on the project, and I've got a list of components that we're putting in order to accomplish the.
But right now, there is a process in place. to
Yes,
minimize
we are. We're
exposure.
magistrating at Geo, where the visitors used to go and visit their.
So you have a plate glass between.
And we have
you
plate glass, and we're doing it through a phone system.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, me personally, I've been talking to another judge, and I'm trying to come up with a system where we can possibly even FaceTime with these people, so we can do it from our offices. So we're working on that also.
The sheriff was nodding his head in the back.
Okay.
What?
He was nodding his head.
Yeah.
Nodding his head,
So we're good?
But we'll work on that, Commissioners and Judge, and see what other plans we can.
And I think, we have another item coming up later on to move some funds, into the IT department that will take care of this too. Judge, did you want to say something?
Just real briefly. First of all, I want to say thank you. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Don't go.
I've learned my lesson. I'm just real appreciative of the leadership y'all have shown. I'm not asking you for nothing other than say, last night, and Ms. Markowski got up on Facebook and said, hey, this report is absolutely false. And we're all up at 10:30 going like, okay, what are we going to do? Because that's a game changer if something actually happens here. So appreciative. I'm not a Facebook guy, but my wife is. So, so I do appreciate and applaud the leadership that has been shown right here. I'm thankful for the technology that you all have invested in the courts. Because we are going to have a hearing tomorrow, mental health hearing, where the person is in Vernon State Hospital, and we did one a week or so ago up there, and that's when we did that a couple of years ago. We all invested $1,500 in an apparatus where we don't have to transport the person down here for a hearing, we can do it. And we have timeframes on that. So the technology you all invested in, fantastic. You know, we are still functioning as district courts. We have to. We're looking at the jail list. We can't afford for that to, people that are in custody to balloon. It's already like 106, 107. So we're going to be working with the attorneys, and we're going to have their cooperation on making sure that if there's going to be a plea where a person's going to go to institutional division, we get that done. If we can do a plea where the probation can get done, where they can get out of custody, we've got to do that. So those are things that we're also monitoring, but the courts are open. The district courts are open. What I am going to ask, and I think you've already addressed the magistration situation, is there's other courts now that are going to what we call Zoom. And they're actually holding hearings via video.
And I think that's what the school's actually going to do their meeting on Zoom also.
Okay. So what I'm asking here is we're going to need a little bit more help from IT, because I don't even have a camera on my monitor to support that. And there are instances where they're telling us some things are essential, some things are not. But honestly, there's some really touchy situations, especially in the family law arena.
Well, if you can get us, or get IT or the judge what it is that you're missing to be able to accomplish those tasks, I'm sure that we will.
Yeah, and I think they'll have a meeting. They have a meeting also Friday.
Yes, we have a meeting Friday. Ram just informed me he would show up. Thank you. And I just appreciate the support you all are giving us in this time, but we cannot afford to shut down. We have to continue to go forward, and we're going to do that. Everything's fluid, though. Everything's changing by the minute.
Yeah.
And I understand that. We are going to have a sign going up that we just got approved, where if somebody comes into the courthouse, they're going to stop at this particular area, deliver the thing, and they're not going to come further into the building, other than employees. So those are things that we're trying to do. Appreciate the support you have given us. Do y'all have any questions of me?
I don't.
I appreciate the cooperation of everyone. So thank you very much. Okay.
Good? All right. Commissioners, we have anything else on this?
Can I
Ma'am?
tell them what we're doing in our office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This would be the time to say it.
First of all, thank you for the communication. I think it's very important, especially for the department heads, to know what's going on so that we know how to respond to certain things. As being one of the essential needs office, I did cooperate. I think we got a memo from the judge early in the week and to dwindle down your staff, and that was done. I'm down to 4. So I just want to tell the commissioners what we have available already, and we're just going to implement that. We're going to stop the personal service type thing, but anybody that wants to record, we have e-recording, which can be done online, or we've asked them to just drop it under the door, and we will process it and everything. When we get back to them, we'll give them their information, their filing information, or their documents back. And then the marriage license thing and the jury summons cards we put on our website page, and we're instructing the people to fill it out and either email it or fax it to us, or just drop it off. We're not going to open the door. The attorneys for court cases, they have e-file, so they have access 24 hours to the courthouse. So there's no need for that. Anybody wanting to make payments, they can call us, and we have certified payments. So people can pay with their credit card or whatever they want to. Usually it's a credit card, but we can take their payment over the phone and process it. We can mail them their receipts. The marriage license thing is a little more difficult because you do have conditions sometimes that they have to meet before we can issue the license. So in that case, we've asked them to either email all the forms and their IDs and everything to us. We'll prepare the license first if they meet the qualifications, and then we will set up an appointment for them to come in so we can minimize the time that they'll be in there getting the license. And I believe that's it.
I've got questions.
Yes, sir.
You have 3 items on here to handle elections.
Yes.
What are we going to do
Okay,
about
I'm glad you asked
elections
me.
if this extends? There are some states that are suspending elections.
Yes, I tried contacting the Secretary of State's office yesterday because there's a lot of rumors and a lot of articles in the paper similar to what's going on here. And so we're not getting anything concrete. They told me that officially something today or tomorrow is going to be issued by the Secretary of State, but everybody's looking at pushing all those deadlines back, anywhere from 8 weeks to not having them at all. So we're waiting to hear, and as soon as I get something, I'll forward it to you.
I know some states are looking at doing strictly mail-in.
Yes.
I know in the last election.
And we are prepared to do that if we have to do that.
I know in the last election, we had some issues with mail-ins.
Yes.
Because, and it had nothing to do with your office, it was the Secretary of State where the problem was. But I'm assuming they will get that issue resolved if we get to that point.
I hope so, yes. Yes, but the problem I think we had locally had to do with the fact that the mail-in ballot is folded. And so the machine tends to not like that.
Well, I was more concerned with that there were people that had issues getting them in the process of getting them. It
Yes.
wasn't so much the counting part as getting the ballot because of the issue with the Secretary of State.
Yes, and-
when they tried to register online too.
And I'm glad you asked me that too. There's things that have been going on that I just can't remember everything that's going on. But I have worked, in fact, Ram and I met yesterday. The issue is that our elections email, where the FBCA voter submits their application online, is rejecting their application. It's sending them an email saying that it's not accepting it. And so I think, Ram, if you want to chime in, the
Well,
way he's
when we get to the election deal, we'll talk about
okay,
that.
because he's explained to me that it's the way the group was set up. So we're going to change that completely and make it go to one person so that they don't get those messages.
Okay, when we get to the other items. All right, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Item 10, consider and act upon amendment number 1, Texas CDBG contract number 7218075. New end date October 21st, 2020, and seek authorization for county judge to sign.
Move.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item number 11, consider and act upon self-monitoring review and certification for Texas CDBG, contract number 7218075, and seeking authorization for county judge to sign.
Move.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 12, approval of payment number 14 under SHC contract number 7217013 in the amount of $69,533.32. Authorization for county judge, county auditor to sign request for payment, administrative draw checklist, public service draw checklist, residential rehabilitation draw checklist, and reconstruction and new construction draw checklist.
Move.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Number 13, if you don't mind, if we could bring this back, because I didn't bring my paperwork right now. Bring it back after executive session. Do I have a motion?
Motion to table.
All right. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Thank y'all. Item 15, discussion possible action on granting easement for Big Bend Telephone Company along the southwest side of Hackberry Drive. Commissioner Nettleton.
They're putting in, Big Bend Telephone is moving fiber optics into Del Rio, and they need to trench along Hackberry to do it. We've done these out in the precinct before. Although they don't need the authority, they're requesting it, so I will make a motion to authorize them the, easement to be able to lay their line. They will do all bores and no open cuts.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 16, discussion possible action on a request by San Felipe Del Rio Consolidated Independent School District for the use of the county courthouse for the processing of election night results, the use of election equipment and supplies, ballot boxes, and booths in order to conduct the Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 San Felipe Del Rio Consolidated Independent School District, School Board of Trustees regular election and runoff election if necessary.
Move.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. And I guess if this changes, we'll look at that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 17, discussion possible action on the request by City of Del Rio for the use of county courthouse for the processing of election night results, the use of election equipment and supplies, ballot boxes, and booths in order to conduct the Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 mayor and city council regular election and runoff if necessary.
Move.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 18, discussion and possible action on the request of Valverde County Hospital District for the use of the county courthouse for the processing of election night results, the use of election equipment and supplies, ballot boxes, and booths in order to conduct Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 Valverde Hospital District trustee election and runoff if necessary.
Move.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 19, presentation by ES&S on the proposal to update election equipment for Valverde County and possible action thereafter.
Judge, I'm going to table this item.
Okay.
The person that was doing the presentation, is out of Dallas, so I asked him not to.
Thank you.
Motion to table.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Authorization to purchase 3 metal detectors to replace the current metal detectors for the price of $18,886.50 to be paid out of courthouse security fund.
Where are these going?
These are gonna replace the 3 that we currently have.
What,
In addition to that, the one
which building?
that's gonna be,
All of them, or just y'all's, or?
yes.
District Court is number 1, County Court of Garage
Okay.
is number 2, Sheriff.
Okay.
This one right here for you all. Not this,
And we have money in there?
We do have money, and then the current units are gonna be moved over to the probation building.
Move.
Second.
Okay, you lost me there.
Okay.
Current year was going to be moved over to the
The
court.
current units that we have right now, these are replaced, will be used over
Okay.
for additional security.
All right, that'll work. We have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. 21, authorization to purchase bullet-resistant panels for the Justice of the Peace Courthouse. The estimated cost will be $1,730 to be paid out of JP Courthouse Security Fund.
Where are they at? They have enough?
They do, they currently have around $4,200 in there. It's a 4x8 panel that's gonna go in front of the bench, or behind the bench, so.
Move.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 22, approval to renew the copier and maintenance agreement for the Treasurer's Office. The agreement will cost $300 for 12 months to be paid out of Treasurer's copier maintenance account.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Nettleton. That was quick, right? All in favor? 5-0 vote. There was a phone that we had an issue with, to be paid out of, they're supposed to be added. We need a phone for the secretary for Commissioner's Court. So we needed approval for that by the court. Do we approve it in bills, or where do we approve it?
We haven't approved it yet, nothing's been presented. But
Well, he said
we
that
can
he was
go out,
gonna add.
we can add to the line.
If you don't mind,
Absolutely.
can we add that too?
So we'd like to
It's a phone,
add a phone.
add a phone for the,
So we'll call that 22A.
yeah, that'll work. 22A. Can we add that to the motion?
Oh,
To the school? Add that to the motion, the phone?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Nettleton, you're set? Accepted. Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Thank you, sir. Discussion and possible act on the following signature of contract for Arts Affordable Care Act.
Correct,
1095.
yeah. This is just TAC that does our ACA reporting for us. It's free for us since we're members of TAC, but we just need the contract signed.
Move.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 24, signature of contract for National Park Service Contract 140P1318000062, dispatch services.
This is a grant that's inside the sheriff's office. It's just for the dispatch services. It's currently funding an employee.
Move.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Number three outstanding invoices for LPA Inc. pertaining to the Fairgrounds Master Plan. We had set aside in the last budget, we set aside some funds. And then these invoices, since they had not come in, my understanding is that those funds, because we started a new fiscal year, sort of were rolled into our general fund. Therefore, these funds, they're in our general fund, but we need to take them out of our contingency.
Correct.
Motion to approve as contingency.
Second. That's wrong. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
4. I vote against, 1 against. Budget adjustment, Tyler Sport positive pay, $4,000 from available appropriations. Going to put
Typically, this would probably just be a contingency item.
typically.
Typically, this is
What is it?
we're setting up a positive pay to help reduce fraud inside of our banking accounts.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Certification of revenue and assign up appropriations. We had a Bickerstaff, Ethan Acosta Messi Ranch. We had so far it's $199,408, the bill. So we need to move money from the SE Ranch in order to reimburse Bickerstaff.
Motion to approve.
Does that work?
Reimbursed,
Mhm.
the county.
Yes.
Bickerstaff.
Yes.
We've already paid the bill.
We've already paid the bill, we're just gonna reimburse the county.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
And what,
5-0 vote, okay, part of that.
yeah, where would we like
that?
it, yeah, where would we like it to go?
Okay, we need, $38,000 to go to IT and the rest of it to go to contingency. Can that be part of your motion, sir?
The motion, I will amend my motion to send $38,000 to IT and the rest to contingency.
Second, accept.
That work? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Surplus action 1372, that was also part of that?
Correct.
Okay.
Are we all together?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be part of the balance.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Item 28, judge assigned property renewal questionnaire.
Move.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 29, discussion possible action to create a temporary position of interim for up to 3 months to be paid from the salaries budget line item.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
I've had several inquiries from students that are attending universities in the state of Texas, and they're looking for an internship. We've done it in the past 2 years. I think that also Judge Banana has utilized the same, before the court, to use the same process to hire an intern. With everything that's going on, this might be a good opportunity to, because I'm looking at maybe assigning somebody to the EOC, so need somebody to take up the slack someplace else.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion?
How many are you gonna have?
Just one.
Just one.
Unless you give me more. Just one, thank you.
Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Larry Pope, certified peace officer with 31 years of experience, holding a master peace officer certification to be deputized as deputy constable for precinct 4.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Jerry Russ requesting authorization to accept the check donation in the amount of $500 $100 from Amistad Heating and Air.
Move.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 32, requesting authorization to accept a check from Friends of Valverde County Library in the amount of $2,436.
Move.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 33, requesting authorization to apply for and accept grant for National Network of Libraries of Medicine, Human Genetics Film Kit.
Move.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 34, Human Resource Monthly Report from March 4th, 2020 through March 18th, 2020.
Move.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Executive session items that may result in action in open session thereafter. Item 35, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege. Ms. Markowski, do we have executive session?
If you
Yes.
want it.
Okay. We're going to recess, go into executive session. We'll be back in just a minute. Don? Maybe?
You said no.
We good? That one don't turn on, we're good.
We're sideways. We're sideways,
But that's
sideways.
but we're live.
Across the screen. Court come back into session, it's 10:20. Yeah, so everybody leave. We had tabled an item, come back to it, item 13, on the food distribution between 2 and 4, and I think precinct 1 was also gonna start taking place, and I think precinct 3 already goes and picks up food. The loads have been fished, the loads have been fished, the loads, yeah. We are live. The loads have been split, half and half. We went through the numbers and looked at the amount of families that they've done. Both precinct 2 and precinct 4 dramatically increased the loads. Just to give you an idea, in January, 3,311 families in precinct 4, 1,529 families in precinct 2. In November, 2,728 families in precinct 4, 1,264 in precinct 2. And in January, the numbers pretty much stayed, well, they rose, but the percentages stayed the same. I put this thing on the agenda because there was some discussion on how we're going to split the load. If you look at the numbers, precinct 4 is doing about 2/3 of the families, and precinct 2 was doing 1/3. My recommendation would be that we split the load, 2/3 for precinct 4, 1/3 for precinct 2. If the numbers look like they're moving in a different way in a month and a half, because I know that precinct 1, your families are going to start going to precinct 2.
We're doing some in Comstock. We don't have a lot, but we are doing some.
Okay. And then, if we do 2/3 for precinct 4 and 1/3 for precinct 2, then the loads going and picking it up also need to go 2/3 of the trips for precinct 4 and 1/3 for precinct 2. And we would actually split Austin and Laredo the same, to where we're not going back and forth. That way, you do 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 as far as going out. But it's up to the court.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion that for the time being, to leave it like it is. In a month, take a look at it and make a decision then.
And I'll second that motion now, Judge.
Okay, in 30 days to come back.
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second Commissioner Vasquez. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
3. All those against?
Aye.
Okay, I'm gonna, what we've got, 3-2, motion passes. Okay. Motion, Jamie, just be specific, 30 days, we'll look at the numbers and then come back.
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, y'all have any comments? None?
Do I count?
Not just commissioners and judge. County judges' comments. We saw what happened last night. We will make sure that at the point that we get our first positive case, that the information is given out to everybody. As soon as we know, y'all will know. I mean, we're not holding anything back. We visited a little while ago about what we were going to do in the processes that we were going to take in open session, that way just as transparent as possible. When we get a first confirmed case, we will go to 10, limit the amount of people in a facility to 10. We will ask that the restaurants, bars, and gyms be closed. And then we will try to figure out a process for Walmart, H-E-B, and the little H-E-B areas that in reality, I think we can't have 500 people in it. If you're doing everything else, everywhere else, you know, we're probably gonna have to look at that also. But I personally believe that at some point, we will have a positive test, and then more drastic measures will be taken. And this court, as well as city council, hospital, school, we're willing to take it, and we'll sign an order with the directive that I was given earlier. The court has allowed me to sign an order, so I believe it's coming. We need to not panic, but we do need to be prepared and try to be as neighborly as possible. I mean, you know, I don't know who the hell needs 15 cases of toilet paper, but, you know, I mean, we have elderly, we have other people that weren't there, people with babies, you know, get what you need, and even with the meats and stuff, I mean, we need to not panic. Let's just be prepared. That's all I've got to say. I will tell, well, that ain't all I got to say. I will tell you that being a member of this court, and I've said it over and over again for the last year and so, I've really been impressed with what this court has done, the direction that they're going, and I think the citizens, you know, can rest assured that we will do everything possible to minimize the impact on our citizens. Again, don't panic, and we're going to get through this. We really are. Meeting adjourned. Have a good day.